What's up, guys? Welcome back to Schmac Talk. We got a different show for you today. Going away from sports, going into the cinematic world.
So, if you
First,
can't tell,
yeah, you can see
if you
behind
don't,
us, right?
if you don't know what these guys are, these are T-Rexes, and
T-Rexi.
this is a raptor and another raptor.
And
They're
another
pretty
one, and
common,
another one,
and
and another one.
yeah, yeah, and then another one in the back, just like, hey, what's up, guys? But yeah, this week we're talking about Jurassic Park, Jurassic World.
Whole
Um,
franchise.
the
The
whole
whole
franchise,
thing.
yeah. It's gonna
Whole
be
thing.
an overview, a review, where the predictions for the franchise. Like, come on, they got to make another movie, right? They got to.
Well, they are. It's
Yeah.
coming out in the summer.
Yeah. So,
In case you missed
yeah.
it,
In case you
Jurassic
didn't
World
get the nose,
Dominion.
it's
Yeah.
coming.
Third movie for there's my hand there. I was like, where is it? Third movie
Number 3.
of Jurassic World. So Jurassic World Dominion comes out this summer. It's gonna
Okay.
be spicy.
All right. Just right off the bat.
Oh, we're just jumping in. Okay.
Yeah. Are they going to be together?
Two are gonna be
Owen
together.
and I forget her fucking name. The ant.
The
Oh,
ant. This isn't Spider-Man. What are we talking about here?
no, in Jurassic World. All right. The like doctor whose like nephews come,
She's not a doctor.
or okay, whatever her official position is.
Claire Deering.
Claire, yes. Owen and
The
Claire. Do you think they're gonna
doctor.
be together?
I think they should be.
Yeah. I
Just be
think they make
honest.
a
I think
cute
they should be.
couple, honestly. You know?
I would agree. I thought it was playful how they, toyed with it in the first one, and the second one it was that classic. They split up and then they came back together into each other's lives. So I mean, I hope they keep it. I think they
Yeah.
will because of the direction that it's going. That
Oh
the
yeah.
franchise is with the whole movie. I think you have to keep them together.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We're on the same page there. But what do you think? Like, do you think the next movie, like, what are your predictions?
Um,
Like, what do you think we're gonna see here? Because I mean, I haven't really looked into it a whole lot, you know.
yeah.
But like, what do you think's gonna be going down? Do you think we're gonna have a new dinosaur?
So I'd have to say yes
Yeah.
to that. I do think there will be another hybrid of some degree or some sort, just because the last two movies we've seen Dr. Wu escape with blood samples of hybrids.
Yeah.
And because of, I also play the video games of that,
Yeah.
and there's extension packs to it that you can buy where Dr. Wu is doing research on hybrid dinosaurs. So they're definitely toying with that. I think
Yeah.
they almost have to go in that direction at this point because they teased it so much. We saw the first hybrid with the Indominus Rex, and then we saw the second one with the Indoraptor. And actually, if you watch the TV show on Netflix, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, it is geared more towards kids. It's an animated series, but it ties into the whole Jurassic World 1 and 2 timeline. So they do a really good job at tying it into that. And there's actually a third hybrid that we learn about in that series, in that TV show. So they've teased it so much that I think it has to play a large role in this one. The only question is, and I hope it doesn't go this route again, because the last two movies, I've liked the last two movies. I really like Jurassic World. I think Jurassic World knocked it out of the park. I think the second one, The Fallen Kingdom, I liked like 3/4 of it. And then the other quarter, I was like, it was good, not great. I mean, it was kind of predictable with what they were trying to do with it. That was the only thing that I was kind of like, eh. But what we saw with those plots is that the hybrid plays a large role, right? Like
Yeah.
it's almost like that's what the movie's about. So I would like to say that they're going to play a role, but not dictate the plot again, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I was thinking kind of like do we know what island it's on?
So, from what I have heard and read and everything looking into it, and I could be, I could just hear rumors, so I could be wrong. So, don't nobody attack me for this. But what I've heard about it is that it's supposed to be, coming right off of the second movie, where now we have, I love the cattail out of nowhere.
I know, right?
um, but what I've gotten out of it is that picks up right where the second one left off, where now we have dinosaurs out in the real world. And so we are, as a society, learning how to live in balance with them. And there are also people buying dinosaurs on the black market for weapon purposes.
Yeah. And that was the
So,
one thing that I'm like, where are they going to take this part? But I mean, as far as like the auction goes, it kind of gets, oh, spoiler alert, it kind of gets shut down a little bit. And
yes,
I
but some
don't think,
dinosaurs did get shipped out.
yeah, some did. So, I mean, obviously there will be like probably like some raptors or, however,
I don't
like I don't think
think.
it, I don't have the the Indo raptor or was the Indominus Rex.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Um,
those
you
are
know,
the main two I'd be super worried about, especially because like I
I don't
mean,
think you can bring them back. I think if you bring them back, it's going to be a mistake.
oh
One
yeah,
thing I have heard, and this was partially because of like, speculation from the video game, which there are now two, Jurassic World Evolution 1, Jurassic World Evolution 2, which we can get into in a little bit. But I have heard like a rumor from the extension, one of the extension packs in the first one, the Spinoraptor. So
okay,
a Spinosaurus and a Velociraptor, that hybrid. The only thing that makes me
that'd
a
be
little,
interesting.
well, it would be very interesting. The only thing that makes me a little conservative with thinking about that is that this the Spinosaurus made its debut in Jurassic Park 3. And there's been no sign of it. there's been there's been no sign of it um in the Jurassic World trilogy, right? So I feel like it'd be a little kind of random, but then again, last time Jurassic Park 3, really random. Hey, here's a Spinosaurus, like here
Yeah,
you go. So I don't know. They could do that if they wanted to.
yeah. I if I want to see a hybrid created in nature that no one's seen before, like the loose dinosaurs
Oh,
creating like on their own and then seeing what like comes out of that. Because I
okay.
like, I mean, if we're going right off of the second movie there, you know, no, nothing's going to be like generational. So you're not going to see super big changes, but
Mhm.
like, see a raptor and like a stegosaurus put together, like, all right,
Stegoraptor.
see a stega T-Rex.
That'd be
You know,
terrifying.
that would be disgusting. If you were looking for a weapon, that would be a ideal
Well, see,
specimen right there.
and that's the thing that kind of, you know, makes me a little lost is with regard to like they're buying them on the black market and everything, but like you can't control them.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't really make sense to me still as to why they necessarily were like, hey, we're gonna go that route because like you can't control them. The whole Indoraptor, the thought was that you could control them,
Yeah.
right? With like the sound signals. But you can't control any other dinosaur. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. But what I heard is that they're picking up right there to see like how you can balance out living with dinosaurs now. And I will say, even more of me thinks it'll be like that because the new game that came out, I was fortunate enough I got it over winter break. So I got it this winter. I've been playing it a little bit, and it picks up with that storyline that
Okay.
you are Owen and Claire and a couple other people from the initial game, and you're now working with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Department or whatever it is, and you're capturing dinosaurs and making a safe reserve for them in spread out locations in the U.S. and Canada.
Oh, that's
So
actually kind of sweet.
yeah, it's actually a really cool game. But it goes right with the storyline, so that's why I think it's going to be even more like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's kind of played that way and with previous games, there's nothing to lead me to believe that they're gonna kind of stray away from that. So I mean, that could be what this next movie is. It's literally just how people and dinosaurs end up living together. And then I don't know, maybe we see another trilogy come out, like Jurassic finale. I don't know. I'm just thinking like there's going to be a 9-movie series, kind of like the Star Wars movies.
Well,
Just because
the,
that's kind of how it's been structured so far. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I guess the big question is, do you actually think that um, they can stretch this narrative out for 9 movies? I guess that's the real question.
see, and that's the thing where it's kind of like, all right, just based on how the movies have played, at least for me, like 1, super good, super interesting. 2, all right. 3, better, but like it wasn't anything to be like, oh my god, this is the best movie ever. Like, you know, I definitely
Yeah.
think 1 definitely stuck out from the first 3.
Well, of
Um,
course.
and then I mean that's how all movies are. But like 3 is definitely like a close second there, and then 2 is just like kind of in my book. Um, wait, let
Well,
me
rank
make.
them. Rank
I,
rank them from 1 to 5 right now. Rank them. Let's
one
go.
to five. All right.
Yeah, 1 to 5.
Dude, that's kind of the last 2 I kind of view very similar. I don't like not one of those just like sticks out more than the other necessarily. Um, so they're like close together. I'd say it's probably going to be like 1, 4, 5, switch for 2 and 3, probably rotate them a little bit, and then probably 3, 2.
See, this is why we can't talk about stuff like this, because we agree on it.
Yeah.
Because that's what, like, I view it as the first one will always be the best one. There's no question
Oh
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Just the storytelling, how they tied everything in, perfect. I mean, honestly, just perfect. And then I would say I really like the Jurassic World, so the number 4. I love that movie. I thought they did a great job. But then it is, for me, it's between 5 and 3. Who's the real third overall? And I think the 5th one does more justice than the third one. The third one is good,
Yeah.
but it is kind of like random.
Yeah.
Um,
It's one of those ones where it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And then like you get the part where it's like, oh, like Dr. Malcolm's kid sneaks on like the whole
yeah,
trip. Like I was like, okay, this is
that's
like
the
definitely
second
for
one.
like, wait, which one's the
Yeah,
third?
the third one is with the
Oh,
Spinosaurus.
okay. Yeah.
I still
So
think
yeah, it's still
that
the same. Yeah. I don't know.
of them all, the second one is the cheesiest and the second one's the worst.
Yeah.
Um, However, I still love them all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would rank it 1, 4, 5, 3, 2. And I really hope that the 6th one is, doesn't fall into the trap of what number 2 was, because I can see how it can get
Yeah.
cheesy with where we're going.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed for sure.
And plus, like at this point, I think this next movie, if they are planning to end the series, do it with this one.
Go out with a
If
bang,
yeah, go out with a
an
bang.
asteroid bang.
Yeah, exactly. just destroy Earth, screw it.
And
um,
then there was nothing.
but if they decide like, oh, we want to make more money, and do make another 3 movies, like that's almost to the point where it's like, what else can you do with this
What
series that is new?
what yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. What else can you do without retelling what you've already done?
Yeah. So
Right. Like that's the big thing. So like I really think that number 6 has to be it,
yeah,
unless it's like um unless it's like one of those like with like Harry Potter, how they did part 1, part 2 for the
yeah,
last one. Like
I
unless
can
they
see
did something
that.
like that. But I feel like this has to be the end.
Pushing the end, yeah.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, like realistically, like you can probably do another one where like people are living in unison, but then it's like, all right, like what else can you do after that? Or like then you get into like a Planet of the Apes style thing where like, oh, the dinosaurs get so smart that they start like
Yeah. And I don't
killing
think
off
you
the
want to do that.
humans. And then at that point, people are like, okay, well, this is just Planet of the Apes. And I can see them doing that like pretty easily in this next one.
Yeah. I mean,
But if,
we'll see.
you know,
But enough speaking of the future, let's take it all the way back to the first one.
that, all right.
Sure. Okay. Try to explain just how iconic the first movie is.
It's one of those movies that like you watch and like you don't realize all the references that there are to like today's world. Like, you know, dinosaurs. First off, like in today's society, like I was thinking about this. All right. This is possible. This is possible.
Uh, mm,
Well, okay,
uh,
if that is if we get like blood of like actual dinosaurs,
you
like
you have to sequence it. The issue is that all the blood samples from those time periods that they've gotten are too degraded to do anything with. What I would say, because I did my senior thesis on this, on the whole idea of de-extinction. So it's more plausible, more realistic, and more possible in general to do it with ice age animals, because there are still some specimens completely preserved. In
yeah,
addition to that, a lot of the ice age animals that we know existed are um, close extinct relatives of current
yeah,
animals on this earth. So I would think that it is definitely more plausible to do it with ice age animals.
yeah. Um,
Unfortunately, I don't know about dinosaurs.
yeah. So what you're saying is we should make a series called like Ice Age Park.
Ice age part. Um, Here's the thing. I would okay. Yes
But
or
like,
quick yes or no
like,
question. Would
do
you
you think
go
people
to a
would see
Jurassic
that?
Park? I
Would
would
I go?
go.
I would go to one.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I would go to an Ice Age park. I would go to a Jurassic Park. Um, and I have this conversation with my family all the time because they're like, no, like, why would you do that? We see movies, we see what happens. And I was like, I get that, but we could learn from the movies. But I would admit that it would be a lot easier, a lot more financially stable, and as well as ethically stable, ethically correct, and easier in general to take care of ice age animals than dinosaurs, because some of them are only slightly bigger than their current counterparts.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, mammoths were massive. Well, guess what? Elephants are pretty damn big.
yeah.
Okay, we
But
know
like,
how
do
we
we
can keep
understand the
them.
scale like of the difference between an elephant to a woolly mammoth though? 'Cause aren't they like
Um,
4 times bigger?
I do not believe that they're 4 times bigger. Let's look it up.
Because
Woolly.
I
Oh,
mean,
I always
that,
forget that there's two O's. Woolly mammoth size comparison to elephant. Um, okay, they're about twice the size. Let's look at this. Of course, you don't give me a great picture. I love when you click on a picture and I don't want to copy it.
6
And it's like
tons.
not big.
What the?
Did you just look it up?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they're about a size and a half. They're not quite two. Yeah, they're not quite two times bigger than an African elephant. So, and you also, oh yeah, look at that. So they're only slightly bigger than an African bush elephant.
Oh,
So
that
no,
really
like they're
wouldn't be-
bigger. They're definitely bigger. You know, your normal African elephant, it's probably like a size and a half. You also have, you could go into the whole different species of mammoths. You also have mastodons and everything like that. But that's the thing though, is that like they're bigger, but they're not dinosaur bigger.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
so I do think that it would be easier to take care of Ice Age animals than
Oh yeah.
dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Plus, I
especially
would
because they're
definitely
like
want to.
not too far over, you know.
Yeah, well,
I'd love to see a saber-toothed tiger. I think that'd be
that's what I
so
was about to
sweet.
say. Yeah,
That'd be so sweet.
I mean, because also
Mammoth
think
would be
about
cool
it.
too.
Yeah, also think about it. Ice Age. So Ice Age animals, um, they can live in the cold. They can live in the warmth. You can, you know, aid them in cooling down in an environment for them in the summer if they're somewhere like that. Dinosaurs probably wouldn't do great in the snow, so you're limited with where you can go.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be kind of close to the equator.
Yeah, so I mean, if I had to pick between the two, I would definitely say let's go with Ice Age. Just because it's a little bit more relevant to us. You know, those animals were around when Homo sapiens started to take form. So
those animals were around when my parents were. Not kidding. Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think that's definitely the more reasonable, more logical answer, especially because like dinosaurs were ginormous and I don't want to really ever get chased down by a T-Rex or a
I don't want to
raptor.
mess well,
Yeah,
okay, let's talk about that. Okay, let's talk about some of the dinosaurs, some of the most iconic dinosaurs. Okay, because we and everybody listening knows that, you know, the Jurassic Park is one of the most iconic ever. Okay, it set the standard for sci-fi, right? Like,
yeah,
it set the standard.
I'd say for special effects, definitely set the standard.
Absolutely.
Because what, the movie came out in '93, but it looks like it came out. It has better, like,
the animatronics are better than some CGI.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's the thing that's crazy. The animatronics are better than some CGI that we've seen in the last decade. CGI is really, really good now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I mean, with that though comes the price though. So I bet. Actually, I don't know what the prices would be as far as like doing Jurassic World in just straight CGI versus also using animatronics. But I think the new one is pretty much just CGI.
Yeah, the last two have been primarily CGI.
Yeah.
So, but no, speaking of the dinosaur, because you mentioned one thing that always kind of bothers me. So the velociraptors that are behind you, as well as myself. So these guys are depicted as almost 6 feet in the movie. Do you know how big a velociraptor actually was?
They're only like 3 feet tall.
Yeah.
They're not very big. They're like the size of like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah. And so like that, like when I found out about that, I was like, really? Like I viewed these as like the wolf/lion of the dinosaurs, right? And then you're telling me, oh, they're like
actually 3 feet. See, they almost, it's those little dinosaurs that end up eating the dude.
The compies.
Like the compies, yeah. Those ones are like what I've been thinking after I realized how big the velociraptors. That's what I think of when I think of like velociraptors killing people. I'm just like,
oh, it's like that.
It's just like a bunch of them hoarding them at once.
I mean, love the sound effect.
It's just like,
it's so accurate.
It's like, okay, cool.
Would you like, so let's go into that. Would you change the appearance of the Velociraptor in the franchise, or would you keep it to be that scary 6 foot tall?
You almost have to keep it because if it's 3 feet tall, you can. I mean,
It's harder to get behind.
it's harder to get behind, but I feel like you could almost, as like 3 feet tall, you could almost argue it as being like a companion slash dog per se.
Which they've tried to
Um,
do with the whole Jurassic World with
yeah, with
Owen and Blue.
Yeah, my dude,
But it's like a Great Dane because they're huge.
yeah, and I'm like, I mean, I could see even going in between, but then you get to the point where it's like, if you want to be like authentic and real to like their actual size, you should, make them the 3 feet tall beasts that they are. But if you don't really care too much about that, I think for the purposes of the franchise, you'd want to keep them at like that 6 foot, because I mean, that's what they're depicted as. They're depicted as these like mad pack hunting predators that just
Yes.
like destroy anything in their path,
Well,
It-
and that's what I think for story purposes, the 6 foot is perfect.
yeah,
Like, and
because
as
it makes
long
it more
as,
interesting. Because
yes,
if they were only
it
3 feet tall, then
instills
it's
the
like,
fear.
okay,
Yeah, it instills the fear in you when you're watching it. You're like, oh my God, there's no way I want to come across that thing.
yeah,
Right. So like, I think that's why you have to keep it. You have to
Yeah.
keep them at 6 foot. Part of me is like, yeah, it'd be nice if it was more authentic in that regard. Everything else seems to be pretty good. So I'll live with the 6 foot Raptors. But I also think, like I just said, it plays a huge role in getting that fear factor across the screen to you.
yeah. And going off of that, the T-Rex. Well, actually, no. Let's kind of depict these like hybrids that we've seen so far. Um, what's your take on the Indo Raptor?
Indoraptor?
Yeah,
Indoraptor. Oh, let's see. Badass.
yeah. I think it's sweet.
It, yeah, I would have liked to see how they would have made it if Blue was able to nurse them. Do they take
Yeah,
commands? I can you actually use them legitimately for weapons, for military, for anything like that? Which we know in the first Jurassic World, that's why they were studying the raptors. They wanted to use
Yeah.
them for military purposes. Which again, I think is, I do think that's kind of cool. It's almost
a
like
little bit.
the only thing is, it's like, oh, can we take like an African lion, and if we treat them really well, they're gonna. It's like, if it wants to eat you, it will. Okay,
I mean, I
like,
feel like based on it's so based on how like animal's mind works, if you really wanted to, you could definitely train a wild lion to be like on command, I would think. But I think that also is determined based on like having a part of the brain that is
well,
associated with that.
yes, but it comes down to their willingness. Like, of course,
Yeah.
we want to do that. I mean, hell, I mean, I'm sure people have tried to like use big cats in wars before, and
Hey,
in
that's why I
armies
got mine.
before. So it just
I
comes
was
down
just
to
thinking
if they're willing to, right?
yeah.
So, but going back to Indoraptor, I think it's cool. I think it's I thought it served its purpose. I thought it was cooler than the Indominus Rex. If we're being completely honest, I also thought it was scarier than the Indominus Rex
Yeah.
because it was faster,
I,
more aggressive, just absolutely ruthless. Like, it
yeah.
was. We saw that the Indominus Rex was a sport killer, right? Like, it
Yeah.
just killed for
Like,
fun.
oh, I'm just gonna kill anything in my path. Peace out, Girl
Yeah.
Scout. Like, all right.
So we had that mentality with the quickness, savviness, and stealthiness of a velociraptor like that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's also terrifying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say it was cooler than the Indominus Rex for sure.
Yeah. How do you feel about in the most latest um, Jurassic World movie, how they bring into the idea of humans being created through a syringe?
Ooh, uh, ooh, mm. Well, here's the thing: is I mean, you can extract a sperm cell, and extract an egg cell, and grow an embryo in a petri dish. Like you can start that process scientifically outside the womb. So it didn't really shock me from a science standpoint. I was kind of like, okay, I mean, yeah, like if you want, you can take your DNA from your dog, and it's a lot of money, but you can clone your dog. Now, the dog's not going to have the same personality
Oh, that
because
is true.
each individual has its own personality, right?
Yeah.
Genetically, it's the same. Genetically, it's the exact same. Personality wise, you don't know. Um, so it didn't shock me. It intrigued me just because of the science mind that I am. But it also, if it were to legitimately happen, it raises a lot of ethical questions
Well, I mean
as to like,
that's also the idea of like people going and getting their baby mutated genetically um, to be exactly how they want it, almost like a doll when it
oh
comes
yeah,
out. And
you're
it's like,
saying let's alter our sperm and like our sperm and egg cells in order to like, well, let's genetically modify stuff.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I would say I would lean towards, if I had to choose between which one to do, I'd say let's clone people before we like pick and choose. But I don't know
I mean, I
because
can
the
understand the
thing
pick and
is
choose, but like, what part of that actually leads to like how someone thinks and making like a perfect like specimen? Or because I mean that's
yeah,
eventually going to be the end goal, right? To
yeah,
be able to
you
create
want
like the perfect person, the perfect whatever, you know.
between what you are given, yeah.
Yeah,
But I would also point out that like he in the movie he cloned the person, he cloned his daughter because of a traumatic experience.
yeah,
You know, she died suddenly. What I would say is I hope this doesn't actually come to fruition. um
yeah,
I don't want it to actually happen. I'd rather it happen with animals than humans.
yeah,
Like that's just me.
yeah. No, I feel that. How do you feel about testing on animals?
This seems like we're getting away from Jurassic World.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, well, it kind of comes into it because like why are these companies and other um entities wanting to buy these animals? Do you think it's just purely for like, ooh, I have a T-Rex in my backyard? Or do you think it's like, oh, I have
Fair,
a
fair.
T-Rex in my army and we're on our way to, you know, destroy like this other city or whatever, you know? Or are they simply using it to test with their DNA and make new species with that? Because I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
you've already recreated dinosaurs. What's to say you don't use dinosaur DNA, mix it with a little something else? Like they added that toad in it so that it would basically recreate.
yeah.
Um, so
Um, the whole testing, I'm not for the whole genetically modifying it. Um, Genetically modifying, I think, oh, it's so back and forth because ethically, some people are for it and some people are not. Stella,
yeah,
please be quiet. Good Lord. But I think it would also be advantageous, though, especially like if we use that for some of our endangered species right now.
yeah,
Like, can we genetically modify them to some degree that allows them to successfully live in a different environment that's better, you know, for their survival, It's very interesting. So I do wonder, the more we talk about it, the more we think about it, will the Jurassic World franchise go more in the scientific realm than the whole chaos theory realm,
Yeah.
right?
But I feel like that's what brings you into watching a Jurassic Park is the whole chaos of, oh my gosh, there's dinosaurs running around with humans.
Well,
Like,
yeah, and
what's going on, And that's kind
yeah,
of why you get brought in initially. But then, like, you kind of see it with like Planet of the Apes, it's a little more like could happen
mhm.
than compared to like, dinosaurs taking over. But it's like,
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Planet of the Apes is definitely more likely to happen than dinosaurs. But one thing I just thought of is I think it'd be very interesting because we were talking about it'd be pretty cool if we had like an Ice Age, like a live action Ice Age stuff, right?
that'd be sweet.
Um,
Live action Ice Age movies with actual Ice Age animals.
well, that's what I'm wondering is like if we go to the scientific realm, or are we going to find out in this movie that their new direction is Ice Age?
Ooh,
Are they
yeah.
making that, are they making that hop? Are they realizing that, oh, it's harder to, have a pack of raptors under our control? What about a pack of dire wolves? Like, you know,
Ooh.
I wonder if they could do a spin-off of that in the future. Like maybe that's their episode 7, 8, 9 is they go in that direction. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. Be very interesting.
Or do humans and dinosaurs end up living together if we get rid of fossil fuels and we use the dinosaurs as our cars, transportation, our
Well, now you're
like
describing
working
the
equipment?
Flintstones.
Exactly. Okay. What if the
Oh
Flintstones
my
is just a
God.
sequel to Jurassic World?
So you're saying, oh my God, plot twist. Okay. So you're saying
If you,
oh my God.
but it would have to be realistically be a 3 foot raptor because that's what their pet is. So I can't
They also
think
have a pet
Pebbles.
saber-tooth tiger.
Yeah. Who doesn't want that? You don't want that?
Well,
I
I'm
want
just saying,
that.
like they have Ice Age as well.
Oh yeah, that
Um,
is true.
but no, okay, so you're saying
But I mean, okay.
Jurassic World
So
Dominion
Jurassic World
leads
happens,
to the Flintstones. The
yeah.
only okay, ready?
But
Here's the big thing.
there's an
At
in
this
between
point,
there. There's an
there's
ice
an in
age
between.
in between. Like we do the ice age things too,
So
because
what
they
happens to
have that saber
technology?
tooth.
Do we just get rid of technology? Like
Yeah, we get rid of
we just get
technology and
rid of
use
technology for no
dinosaurs.
reason.
Yeah,
No reason to get.
yeah. Why not?
That's the okay. If you kept technology, so if you would have said it's a Flintstone society with more technology, I'd be like, you could argue. The only thing though is
Well,
the
what if our
way
power
that
grid goes down? There's a big major war, and then we call off the
then you fix
war
it.
and become
Then you fix
like,
it.
what if we can't? We're out of fossil fuels. We can't burn that. We're out of
Then use a
uranium.
different fuel.
Suns. Oh wait, no, we'd be dead. So let's say sun's burned out.
I was gonna say, okay, I just taught my kids this today. Okay, if the sun burns out, okay, you know
We're
what's
all
gonna
dead
happen?
anyway.
Planetary nebula actually it'll go to a red giant, it'll grow in size and engulf Earth, and then it will be a planetary nebula where all the gas goes away from the core, and then you have a white dwarf at the end where it's just the core. So yeah, we'd be dead if the sun ran out of fuel. Now, thankfully, that happens in 5 billion years, so we're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
But
we're literally just living in a science experiment right now. Prove me
what
wrong.
if that's what life ended up being? It's just this huge science experiment. You failed.
You failed, and you're just like, what? And it's like, play again.
Be
Fuck,
like, no,
I guess.
I don't want to go through that again.
Or you press exit, and then you're at like a Dave and Buster's kind of arcade style thing, and you just go into another portal and live another life.
Oh Lord, they're going crazy tonight.
I just want to say what's up. They're like, yo, you
Oh,
want to bring
they're
dinosaurs back?
growling and barking
Dinosaurs
at
are so
something.
cool.
Yeah, they're saying
See,
dinosaurs don't mess with this house.
this is my house. This is my house. You can't tell me nothing. This is my house.
Yes, they're being very, very needy. They're like raptors. Don't mess with us. Are you okay, ma'am? Are you okay? You're not very scary though, because when someone attacks or approaches you, you run away.
No, I
You're
gotta
not
go.
like the raptor.
Gotta go.
Oh no, good. Oh no, where'd you go? No, you're not
Bye-bye.
saying hi to the people. Oh, okay, fine. Bye. See ya.
Like, nope. I don't even want to talk to you.
Oh,
No
now
more.
you're coming back. Oh Lord. But I don't even know what we were talking about now.
Yeah,
Flintstone society, but with technology. I believe that more.
that'd be sweet.
That'd be very sweet.
I'd be down for it. Have a saber-toothed tiger as your pet. You know, have a I mean, it basically, like, if you think about it, we'd have them trained to the point where it's like, it's like having a cat.
It's just like having a really, 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 really big cat.
Yeah. It's
Like,
just it's like
hi,
owning a cougar,
it's,
There's a cougar in the car. No, there's a saber-toothed
Karen!
tiger in the car.
Karen, down, Karen. Do you want to say
Karen.
hi? Do you want to say hi? Look at it. Say hi. Hi, Lila. Oh yes. Oh yes.
No, Papa Bob. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. Okay, let's go with that. If you had to pick between any of the dinosaurs in the franchise to have a pet of it, what would you pick?
Blue.
You're going with the raptor?
I mean, I think that would be the coolest one, especially if it's the 6 foot tall. It's gonna be my size. It
It's gonna
listens
be
on
blue. You don't
command.
want Charlie or Delta
I'd take
or
any of
Echo?
them, but I mean, blue was the one that was the most like empathetic. So I would say blue, and then from blue, I'd say the rest of the Raptor fam because I can't say no to Delta.
Will you stop barking, please?
What about
No, I
you?
would agree. I feel like I'd probably have a raptor just because they're so cool. But the
Yeah,
question is then, so we're both agreeing on raptors, and blue's the coolest but I mean, it's
yeah,
not even close.
yeah.
But other than blue, okay, because we just agree that blue's the coolest. Other than blue, which raptor in the franchise is the coolest? Think about all the different skin patterns. Which one is the second coolest? Because I have my answer already, but I want to see what yours is. Dun, dun,
Are we allowed
dun.
to say the Indoraptor? Because I think that skin
Oh
style's
my
kind of
god.
cool,
It's not a velociraptor.
but
No.
it's not a
Nope. Try again.
Velociraptor.
No.
So
Velociraptor.
what? Delta Charlie, right?
You can go different Jurassic Park movies. None of the other ones necessarily have names.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna say Delta. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Let me just verify real quick.
Delta's green, right? Like dark green, and Echo's the light green.
I thought I might have these switched. Delta Jurassic. Yeah, Delta's more of the light green.
Oh, okay. I thought Echo was the. I don't know. It's been a little bit
Oh,
since I've seen it.
Echo is the lighter one.
Okay,
Echo's like the yellow and blue one.
gotcha. Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking.
then what was the other one?
Charlie, because Owen is alpha, blue is beta, and then you have Charlie, Delta, and Echo. Mind blown, right? Once you realize what they did with the whole naming system.
It just blew my barnacle right there. I think I'm gonna have to go Delta, honestly. I like the dark green.
Okay, you ready for this?
Oh snap. What's he going with?
Okay. Jurassic Park 3 male raptor. Look it up. That is by far the second best.
Oh,
Jurassic Park
yeah.
3, and it's got the little 3 things, and it's like red, and it got red eyes. Ooh, tell me you wouldn't be
Yeah.
scared if you saw that coming at you. Like, whew.
Wait, what's the?
So
I don't know.
that's
The
what I would say.
I think the females are kind of cool.
You like the females from those?
Yeah, the white.
Oh yeah, like the really fair skin.
Yeah, I think those are sweet.
And then you also, from the second movie, which is behind you, you have the tiger stripe ones.
These guys,
So
I think they're cool. I definitely like them more than I like Echo.
Fair.
So I'd say like these guys would come in probably more toward the bottom for me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I just literally looked back like they were. I was gonna see them in my room. So y'all got that.
I love
You're
that.
welcome.
You're like, hey,
Good content. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would say all of them are cool, but I would say like unfortunately the ones from the first one are so iconic because it's the first time we've seen them. But by far, on the skin pattern, skin variation, they are the bottom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm very interested to see what they'll do in this movie, though, if there'll be more raptors, and if so, what they're going to look like. And speaking of
also want to see
new,
what just look like.
what?
No, they've kind of been the same. The T-Rex.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
to see a new skin
oh
pattern.
yeah. But speaking of potentially new stuff, if you had to put a new dinosaur, and we'll wrap it up on this, but if you had to put a new dinosaur in Jurassic World Dominion, which one are you looking forward to? Which one would you put in there?
I got a few on my mind. All right.
Oh, okay.
So part of me is thinking like, well, okay, I like the Stegosaurus a lot. That's probably like been one of my favorite dinosaurs for the past like forever almost.
Forever.
So the Stegosaurus with a Velociraptor, I think that would be sweet.
Ooh.
But one up you, the Stegosaurus with the one with the like hammer for the head. I can't think of what it's called.
So the Ankylosaurus with the Stegosaurus.
Yeah, the one that like
The
runs through
wait
things.
the Packy.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought you were gonna say a Stegosaurus with an Ankylosaurus tail, with the club tail.
That would be disgusting, though. That would be.
Could you imagine that? Could you imagine a Brachiosaurus or an Apatosaurus, one of those big long neck ones, with an Ankylosaurus tail? The damage they would do.
That would be crazy damage. And then breed it with a carnivore, but only give it that feature.
Oh, just so ready. A Spinosaurus with an Ankylosaurus tail. Or
with a raptor face.
A Spinosaurus with a Stegosaurus tail, so it has the like 4 spikes on the back.
See that Stegosaurus.
Ooh.
Let's go.
What about just a raptor in general with like a Spinosaurus or a Stegosaurus? Like, give me some spikes on that like guy.
I know that
like
would
on
be
the back.
That was one thing that I kind of liked from the Indoraptor. Had like not necessarily spikes, but it had like
yeah,
like
almost like hair.
Yeah,
I
don't know. Yeah, but take that, but make that like spikes all down the back. That'd be sweet. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I think one dinosaur I would like to see, and this is just because I like raptors, but I would like to see the Utah Raptor in the actual like story mode. So you don't know what the Utah Raptor is?
No. Oh, what the frick?
So
Really?
it's got feathers and it is huge. It is huge. Like I'm looking at some of these claws right
No way.
now, like of the toe, and they're bigger than a hand. I mean, that'd
Oh
be pretty
my
cool if they
god.
introduced that guy, right? Like, because then we were like,
Dude,
oh, we thought
imagine that with a
velociraptors were like the
stegosaurus.
ish. Just
Just imagine
imagine
that.
that in general. Just
That'd be
imagine that in general on the like, wouldn't that be cool if they just brought the Utah Raptor to the Jurassic World?
bro, that's
Like,
I think honestly that
yeah,
would be have to be like the next like apex predator right there. That mixed with
yes,
something else. That would be like the apex. And then I think that would be the mega boss that they're trying to fight because this would be able to talk with the raptors. So
yes.
raptors
We
could
would
side with them. What if it starts a raptor civil war?
a Raptor Civil War.
That'd be wild.
Just they're
Next
they're just
next
fighting
episode.
everybody. See, okay,
Do the Utah
do
Raptors win?
yeah.
Or the Blue
The
Raptors? Check in next week for the football game.
well, well, so do you think that they could potentially spin off into a TV series with everything? I feel like
Honestly,
that's almost
there's
what's
a lot of
next.
things that you can do with the whole dinosaur thing, and I don't know if we necessarily want Jurassic everything.
Yeah,
I would kind of want to see what other takes people have on it, but I also they'd have to either be equivalent to Jurassic or better, which I don't know.
fair.
I don't know if that can happen because the bar is set like wait, one moment, one moment, like way up here, like you can't even see it. Like that's how high the expectation. Oh, starting to see it now. Oh, yep. You're not gonna see it because that's how high the expectations are. So yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see anything that'll match Jurassic Park, but there's so many different things you could do with it. I don't know if necessarily you have a movie worth of content, but I could definitely see like a TV series. Um, I don't know how you would start that though. Like,
Fair, fair. I mean, that's the thing is, I just feel like at this point, if you want to milk all of it, you got to go to a TV series.
oh yeah,
So, but hey, I'm here for anything.
I'm here
I just want
for
my Utah
honestly,
Raptor.
yeah. That and plus, like, I mean, with all the content that they could make, I don't see the franchise necessarily slowing down, especially because the content that's out there right now, with all 5 of the movies and the 6th one coming out this summer. I think Jurassic World, Jurassic Park set up. Like, if you still haven't seen them and you've watching this, going, "What the frick are you guys thinking?" Go watch them. Go watch them. You can go to Amazon
Please go watch
Prime.
them.
Go to Prime Video. I think you can get all 5 of them for like $30. So like, do it. Watch them. Rent them. I don't care. Go watch them. Thanks for checking in. Schmac Talk out. Bet.